What up, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. We got a mailbag coming up where we're answering questions from subscribers. So if you want to be featured on the next mailbag that we have here on the channel, just be a subscriber because we only take questions from subs. So sub for Giants dubs in the 2023 season. I damn sure miss saying that. I already missed Giants football. Devon Griffin with a $5 super chat. My man says, are the New York Giants going to look at the 5 defensive players who will be free agents after the Super Bowl is over? I know that he specified this from the Philadelphia Eagles. The one guy I think the Giants will have their eye on from the Eagles is TJ Edwards, the inside linebacker. The Giants have a need at linebacker. Edwards, you always see those guys go from NFC East team to NFC East team. You get the most tape study on those guys. You get to know them. You play them twice a year. And you're always watching their film from other teams that you play in the division. I like Edwards as an off-ball linebacker, solid against the run, pretty good against the pass. Giants got to beef up that inside linebacker room. I know some people are probably going to want Javon Hargrave as well. But where the Giants kind of sit at the D-tackle spot, I'm not too sure if the Giants have the money for a guy like Javon Hargrave. I think he's going to break the bank. I think he's going to go for over probably $100 million. Javon Hargrave is going to get the bag. Mitch says, what will we do with Kenny Gallayde in James, Washington? You're going to cut Kenny Gallayde. You're going to pray that maybe you could trade him, but there's absolutely no team that's going to take him unless that you're offering Kenny Gallayde in a 5th for a 7th. You're going to cut Kenny Gallayde and James Washington. He was signed to the Giants practice squad prior to the Minnesota Vikings game. He's a futures contract, and he's someone that I think is going to have an opportunity this offseason to compete to make this roster, the former second-round pick out of Oklahoma State. Look, you took a flyer on a guy in Washington that was once good in the NFL. If he pans out, what a signing by Joe Shane. We saw that he signed low-level free agents during the season that were great. Isaiah Hodgins was good. I think Golladay will be cut, and Washington will have a chance to make this roster. He's going to have to earn it, though. This next question coming in from Marsh, don't know ball. Well, I appreciate the kind words, my man. He says, with Tom Brady retiring, could the Giants trade for Devin White? Giants need a linebacker, and if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are selling their assets right now, yeah. I mean, could they? Absolutely. I think it's just going to come back to the draft compensation that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to want for a guy like Devin White, who, in my opinion, is one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL. He was probably better in that 2020 season. Still a damn good player right now, right? I mean, in 2022, he had 124 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 5 pass breakups. I think he would really fit a Wink Martindale defense because of his versatility. He's not really a good coverage linebacker, but he is a sideline-to-sideline tackler, and he's a guy that can blitz the quarterback, and I think that fits what Martindale wants out of his inside linebackers. Look, his rookie year, he had 2.5 sacks, 9 sacks his second year, 3.5 sacks last year, and 5.5 sacks this year. He's able to get after the passer. He's got elite speed on the defensive end. I think that's what the Giants need out of these linebackers. They need a guy that can go sideline to sideline and make tackles closer to the line of scrimmage than 5 or 6, yards into the defensive backfield. I would love to trade for a guy like Devin White. I'm just curious what it would cost. What do we see Roquan Smith go for? A 2nd-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens? I think it was a 2nd, maybe even a 5th, maybe even a 4th. And I think that probably the Bucs hold Devin White to that same value that they did with Roquan Smith. So maybe it costs a 2nd-rounder. Maybe you can get him for a 3rd. I don't even know if they're selling him, but I think it is a good question with Tom Brady out. Could, maybe the Bucs look to retool? So I'll ask all the real ones this question since I was asked this question. Should the Giants trade for Devin White? No horses can come to New Jersey, according to Karen. Should the Giants trade for Devin White? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I'd love to see him in this big blue defense. Rodon Plays, he says, were you always a Giants fan or were you different fan in your life? I've always been a Giants fan. So I was born on Long Island, moved to Houston when I was a young kid. So my family ended up moving. But my dad is a New Yorker of 35 years, and when I grew up in Houston, there were no Houston Texans. They had not yet begun their expansion, and there was nobody for me to ever root for but the New York Giants, and my dad would have never let me be anything but a Giants fan. I also have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, and he was a Giants fan, so I really didn't have a chance to be anything other, and I wouldn't want to be anything other because it means something in the Green family to be a Giants fan. Me, my dad, my brother, my dad's dad, his dad, we're all fans of the New York Football Giants. I appreciate you, Mr. Rodon Plays. We'll get to more questions from subscribers coming up in a second, but first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, and that being Fume. Today's Giants Now video is sponsored by Fume. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffuser device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors for you to enjoy, those being maple pepper, crisp mint, and white cranberry. Fume is not a vape. It is a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports to save an additional 10% off of your order today. Use code CHATSPORTS to get 10% off the Journey Pack. 3 unique flavors in the Journey Pack: crisp mint, maple pepper, and white cranberry. That link and promo code are in the comments and description of today's show. Devarshi says, can Jamar Chase be a trade target for the NY Giants, as all players would need an extension on the Bengals? No, I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to trade Jamar Chase. If you're trying to trade for one of the Cincinnati Bengals wide receivers, it would be T. Higgins. There was a report last week that came out from the Athletic beat reporter for Cincinnati that if they can't come to a long-term extension and that if Higgins wants a lucrative amount of money, they could look to trade him. No way, no how are they trading a guy like Jamar Chase. As much as I would love to see him play for the New York Giants, Chase is going nowhere, whereas Higgins, I think, could be a potential trade target for Big Blue. Jay Liv, is there a mid to late round tight end available in the draft? You know, I still got to do a little bit more research. Rolly is telling me Dalton Kincaid from Utah. I do think the Giants will try to address the tight ends in the tight end room in the NFL draft. They did the same thing this past year with Daniel Bellinger. They're definitely going to be looking to do that again. Maybe you can get another guy, 2 young tight ends in that room. I think tight ends will definitely be a spot they can look at in the draft, but I got to do deeper research. I'm still coming off of season mode. I'm really right now focused more so on trades and free agency. That's just kind of how the timeline goes for the NFL offseason. You got trade season right after the season, then you got NFL free agency, then you got the NFL draft. But yeah, I do think they could use definitely another athletic tight end. Maybe they could go Michael Mayer in the first round out of Notre Dame. I've seen him fall to 25 in some mock drafts. That could definitely be a possibility. Pierre Juan says, would you take Njigba or Trenton Simpson at number 25? I think I'm cool with either of those guys. I think 25 might be a little bit too soon for Trenton Simpson, but look, we're still 3 months away from the NFL draft. Anything can happen. My concern with Jaxon Smith-Njigba is he didn't really play all that much this last year out of Ohio State, and I don't know if he's got enough speed to win on the outside consistently. My comp right now for Jaxon Smith-Njigba is Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a bigger guy that plays in the slot. Really good feel, really good route running. His ability to find the holes in the defense, settle, catch the ball, and get north and south are pretty excellent. I just don't know if I want to take him at number 25. If he's there, I wouldn't be mad if the Giants did that. But, yeah, I'd probably go Jaxon Smith-Njigba over Trenton Simpson at number 25. Even though I'm a huge fan of Simpson, hoping the Giants get him in the second round, but I don't know if that's possible. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, though, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. We put out videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. Since the offseason's here, we don't have an offseason. Doesn't matter for the Giants now by Chat Sports fam. We get you guys updated every single day. Sub for Giants dubs. Mitch, would you trade for Darnell Mooney? I am a fan of Darnell Mooney, but I think also the Chicago Bears are. And with a quarterback like Justin Fields over there, I don't think they're in the spot right now to be trading their good wide receivers because they don't have many of them. I'd love to trade for Mooney. I just don't think the Chicago Bears would move him as they're trying to get more help for Justin Fields instead of trading the already solid receivers that they have. Timothy says, should the Giants trade the number 25 pick and 2 future first-round picks to the Texans for the number 12 pick and select Quentin Johnson from TCU in the first round? No, because I think there's a chance that Quentin Johnson could fall to number 25 to the New York Football Giants. Dane Brugler of The Athletic, one of the best draft guys in the NFL, should give him a follow on Twitter. He, in his last mock draft, had Quentin Johnson falling to the New York Football Giants at pick number 25. I think it's pretty funny that my comp for Quentin Johnson is Plaxico Burress. 6'4" guy, can go over the top, get it, also has sneaky speed with the ball in their hands. I don't think you need to trade up for a receiver, and I wouldn't trade up in this draft for one. Select one at 25 if you think you need to take one in the first round. No need to sacrifice future picks. I don't value any of these receivers that much to give up future draft capital. I like the NY Giants. I like the NY Giants too. Should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley and draft Bijan Robinson? It's funny because this isn't the first time I have heard of this line of thinking for New York. I don't remember who put out, I want to say it was Daniel Jeremiah. Could be wrong. There was a guy that did a mock draft recently that the Giants trading Saquon Barkley and drafting Bijan Robinson, and their explanation was cash in the chip of Saquon Barkley, see if you can get a second or third round pick, and then draft a running back in the first round and keep that solid to elite level of play at running back to help out Daniel Jones. Look, Bijan is a freak. He's an absolute stud. What he did at the University of Texas this past year was sensational. 18 touchdowns on the ground, 6.1 yards per carry, over 1,500 yards. Bijan is a do-it-all back. But I'm kind of out on drafting running backs in the first round. I think you can find guys later in the draft in the second or third or fourth round if you're trying to replace Saquon Barkley. I do like, though, drafting running backs in the first round for the only reason that you have them cost-controlled for 5 years, or if it's the second round, it's 4 years, and they're going to want a contract extension after that third year. Bijan's a beast, no doubt about it, but I'm kind of over spending high draft capital on a running back at this point. I think Bijan's going to be great, but I also think Saquon Barkley could still be great. I am weary of what the Giants should pay Saquon Barkley, and it's going to be interesting to find out what they're going to do with him. But I would say no. I wouldn't trade Saquon to just draft a running back in round one. What about you, though? Pick a running back. Pick a running back. Would you rather have Saquon Barkley and pay him a lot of money, or would you rather have Bijan Robinson and select him at pick number 25? Type BR for Bijan Robinson, SB for Saquon Barkley. I want to hear from you guys. I get the line of thinking, but I'd probably stay with Saquon Barkley. Make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Giants all day, every day. I'm trying to follow back some Giants fans. DM me, I know ball, and I'll give you a follow back.